Deputy Ministers here. The firearm amnesty, then that is done. The notice of the firearm amnesty.
Yes.
Amnesty in two previous. The notice was sent. It was and January 2021. The matter is put to the House. Do you have any objections? Do I have any objections? I repeat.
So I missed the first part. So
I don't understand. You did
so I don't know what
of section 1 already, where we had the discussion. That section, the repeat of January 2021. Objections to the note.
we got it finally. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chairperson.
That right. And move on to what was
for the record to the our rights before the
Minister who's going to introduce it. I get an indication.
And I was talking, yeah, Nora and the team, Mr. Maname, would allow the CEO to come on board through your permission, Chair.
You may continue.
CEO.
I've got the CFO, Badonos, the COO. Chairperson, as an overview, we will give the three programs that we have, as well as the financial performance. During the Q3, Chairperson, from an overview point of view, we have oversaw the appointment of the Council Advisory Committee and of 12 operations, and in the same, and we also Chairperson from of the 3 quarters. Q1 is 84%, Q2 is 96%, and Q3 is 83%. The next presentation will be by this.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the performance of the different programs. I'm not sure. So, my apology, Chair. Okay, it seems to be going again, Chairperson. My apologies for that.
You can continue.
We have our law enforcement program and then our communication.
Sorry for interrupting you. DM, thank you, DM.
The 171% performance, Q2 83%, and then Q3 83% as well. As far as the sub-programs are concerned,
you have hard copies. You can continue with the.
Yeah.
Good.
Now stalling here, and I move to slide 30 to detail with that, Chairperson, performance information actuals. As far as up to slide 15, continuity plan, and a testing is concerned on it means that the annual target has already been achieved the end of Q3. That was also achieved. And then on slide 18, it just gives a bit of a description who's in your legal services department. That's program 2's overall 100%, and quarter programs achievement and compliance and enforcement and legal services over the 3 quarters. I'm not going to go much into detail as far as that is concerned, Chairperson. As far as the inspections are concerned, business inspections, security office inspections, those targets were all exceeded, including the investigations, criminal cases are concerned. And then, and there's one for firearms, Chairperson, we've highlighted was as well, so and that also exceeded. As far as the inspections that was already achieved in Q3. Chairperson, I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is the sub-program legal services. The first area, investigations and inspections conducted by. Then there was the target in up to sub regulations with the target. One was the target. We actually drafted 2, but they were not approved at that stage by council yet. But it was tabled in Q4. There was also overachievement. Chairperson, I want to move on to slide 24, which is the program communications, registration and training. The achievement of this program. The next slide, on slide 20, of all the sub programs over the 3 communication and stake in terms of the achievement of the annual target. On slide 29 is the registration sub program. There's two key were achieved. On slide 1 deals with the capacity building, place a moratorium, Chairperson, as well. Overall, Chairperson, we have got over 31, Chairperson, which will be more. And in that regard, it all deals with the research, completion of research topic track and achieve financial performance. Thanks, Chair.
Of the organization, we fines and annual fees, and the strides that we put in terms of our assisted to be have expenditure. It's about that we incur a lot when we period. Thus, of 52%, the problem with our going concern. This is the thing that we monitor closely to. Here, the first one, revenue has increased by 15%. This December, we improved our going concern. We now explaining the highest cost contributors of the organization. You see, we have a staff cost at 7% above. This is performed in organizational design to ensure that we are able to execute our mandate adequately. So there are some position in terms of our core, that what I've spoken about earlier, that this is the inherent we have achieved everything expenditure on. The next one is the last one on the expenditure item, that is the cases that of the year are able to enforce compliance. And move to the financial position, I would explain it in AG and other companies that they use to assess whether you are a going concern or not. So we adopted this, so we use it on quarterly basis to debt ratio. Our debt ratio is at 46%. Indicate that if you look at the organization, how is it funded? It's funded through issue. 40. You see the working capital ratio is also very good. We are at 1.7. On slide number 41, you see we have also assessed the time that we take to collect our debt collection days is 180, but this indicated how the industry is paying. So test to ensure that we send, because we are a service-driven organization. We use foot soldiers to ensure that we enforce compliance, and I think that's the last slide, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Do you have, Jim? Could I?
I think we can comment.
To comment? I have Honorable Whitfield. Any further hands?
Blanche.
It's Whitfield, the Blanche. Any further hands? Peacock.
Chairperson, perhaps it's a question for the Deputy Minister. Could we get an update on the current status of the CIRA Amendment Bill and the regulation coming back to Parliament? Are we expecting it to be assented into law? Where are we with the bill, and where are we with the regulations? Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, in the industry like this, the first one is the fire, obviously, what CIRA in any organization to. Chairperson.
Representative, could you please take this? You are really making my meeting.
Chairperson, I was on, and I just want to know for what are those people that got the slide 35 up and things that you can really budget properly for, like.
May I continue?
Thank you, Chairperson. 9 guards, not on the number, I think on that what happened. And I want to check on the security guards that were 20 million, but then it was reduced. And then including assault and murder shows the conviction rate will be able to follow on that. Lastly, it will be on the issue of the NAMs. Are they arrested?
I'd like to express my disappointment, but not to say I'm struggling. I think our deputy, somehow you cannot hear. Other is the employees use annual accrued leave for study. What is the relation labor practices, exploitation, health and safety? Consider not least I last Nkomazi municipality. There is a lot of, but now there are city-related rates.
Before I bring in Honorable Sheikh Imam, my network is quite bad. So may I ask that if you lose me, that the work, Honorable Mapatswe, if you are next.
Number of employees of compliance in terms of which you have spent, which is you are putting in place to very high staff turnover, shortage of staff, necessary training, and have the end for me on that of this, particularly to officers which did not have the.
Thank you.
Let us welcome the press with the report is the last report. Of course, there are improvements, especially when it comes to expenditure, because I think the CFO needs to monitor illegal fees that are currently sitting, can monitor. I think she can monitor, and it creates havoc when you report on your financial 20%, which is good. My question, ratio of 59%, staff ratio of 59%, and she's saying that there's on slide 22, firearms were not inspected. So there is a mitigation.
Thank you very much, Honorable Peacock, Mapats Peacock.
And to look into the presentation. When you look into the presentation, since they've given us, we've received our emails. You'll see of them have reasons for deviation. As why are they not mentioned here? I think the last slide 23 speaks of to possess firearms. Can they explain why do they underachievement? Can they just for that would be, but it's a way of managing for me. Thank you.